Are there any updates on the Canelo and Plant fight?
No, not really. A few conversations. I think, like I said earlier, I think it's quite a straightforward situation of, here's the DAZN offer, here's the Fox offer. Let's talk and see. I think this free agency, network free agency is quite interesting. I mean, I don't advise it to people who aren't draws, but if you are a huge draw, that free agent sort of ability to roam is a really nice thing to have, because you're not handcuffed to make any kind of specific fights. So we want to put it on DAZN, and DAZN will put up a hell of a lot of money for that fight. But also we understand, if Heyman turns around to Plant and says, effectively, not in these words, but you can only do this fight on Fox, then, and the offer's not right, I don't know what happens then. But hopefully we can just get together and, if Caleb Plant wants to fight, which I presume he does, and obviously it's a huge opportunity for him financially and in terms of legacy, hopefully everyone just,
But it seems like you'd want to get it done in June, because they'd have to start camp in July.
Yeah, September the 11th is like the date, and
Oh, the 11th is it?
yeah, we got the 11th and the 18th, and it kind of, I believe the Mexican Independence Day is on a Wednesday.
14th.
Yeah, so it's like another one's like Cinco de Mayo, but
16th.
16th.
And Plant said he wanted $10 million. Do you think that's a fair number, considering Jacob? I think Kovalev made 12, and I think Jacobs made 12 as well. Do you think 10's a good number?
Yeah, I mean, it was a bit of a different world then.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think that I don't want to comment on the number, but he is part of the making of an undisputed fight. So he has great leverage. He's a good fighter. He deserves to be paid, very well for this fight. I'm sure he will be, and hopefully it's about more than just money. Hopefully he believes he can win and become undisputed.
Do you see that as a more competitive fight than Saunders was? Do you think Plant?
I think Saunders was the toughest fight for Canelo because of the style. And Caleb's they're not dissimilar, Plant and Saunders. I mean, Saunders, in my opinion, is trickier and more elusive, but Plant might be a bit stronger, might punch a little bit harder. But I always felt that Saunders was the trickiest fight for Canelo at 168 pounds.
Have you and Canelo kind of come together on moving forward together?
Yeah, he just said to me, go ahead, go ahead and get this done. Obviously Eddie Reynoso, when I first started working with Canelo, the relationship was really me and Eddie Reynoso. That was what came together, and I didn't know Canelo too well. We respected each other, but over the last 3 fights, we've become, dare I say, friends. I think, I've had a huge amount of respect for him. I love his work ethic. He's hilarious, as you guys are starting to see, and that is something that we've really made an effort to showcase, because you've got this guy who's pound for pound #1, who is cheeky, funny, ballsy, and he's so great to be around. I want you guys to see it. So it's all about, I just feel that maybe because our team is English, he's having to speak, or he's not having to, but he's choosing to speak English. And people love that. People love to see it, and they don't realise how good his English is. I mean, this is a guy, it's all self-taught, just picking up, from people. And I think before, if he's talking to, I don't know, Robert Diaz or Eric Gomez, he's speaking in Spanish. So you don't get to see that. But I think he's really enjoying himself. And I think he's really happy. And he's clearly happy with our relationship. And it's an honour to represent him. And, unfortunately, those 3 fights that I worked in, one was Callum Smith, who I represented. The other one was Billy Joe Saunders that I represented, and the other one was Yildirim, which he was never going to lose. So I haven't yet had the chance to have my heart on sleeve moment with Canelo, which is why I want to make the Plant fight so much, because I can go in with just one guy in a race, and we can really make history together, and that's what I love more than anything. So we can go in there and we can celebrate as a team, which is very difficult when you've got 2 guys in a fight.
Where does he want to fight that fight at? If does he care? Does he have? He said he wanted to fight in England. Yeah, where?
Plant, you talking about?
Yeah, Plant.
Yeah, I think that's probably a Vegas fight. I mean, I just feel that he doesn't realise how big he is in the UK. Like he's now boxed 2 Brits in the last 6 months, and the numbers, you know, on the zone in the UK were huge for that fight. It's 4 o'clock in the morning, and they've got an introductory price of £1.99, right, which is $3 to watch that fight. So everyone was just piling in watching, and Canelo is a superstar in Britain, and I think he'd be really shocked when he comes. He's going to come over soon, but he'll be really shocked at his popularity there. And I'd love to do a fight in the UK. I'd love to take him to the Middle East. I'd love to take him to Japan. I'd love to do a fight in Guadalajara. I mean, imagine that. Probably wouldn't be taking as much money on the gate.
Well, what about Mexico City? Because that's a place that you can do.
Yeah, but anywhere like that. I mean, that's historic moments. That is, and that's why I'd love to do stuff like that, because I just think they have just like one thing we've found. Like British fans are very passionate. Mexican fans are potentially on another level. You know,
remember, I don't know if you remember, but the Greg Haugen fight with Leo Cesar Chavez with 130,000 people. I was at that fight. That was like that was scary. Yeah. And when he said the Tijuana taxi drivers, that was pretty tough. But have you ever talked to him about fighting in an outdoor stadium like that and trying to set a record?
Not really. I mean, what I've learned that he loves the big shows, and he's like, he's so, he's almost like a young boy sometimes, when they experience something for the first time. Like he comes into the change room after the fight and he's like, oh, that was unbelievable, and they're looking at pictures, they're watching the ring walk back, and he absolutely loves that experience and that kind of attention.
Sure.
And not attention, but more like attention to detail.
Right.
And I think that's why I like to push the boundaries, and that's why I think we should turn around and say, how about here? How about here? I think after Undisputed, the strategy should be to box in as many different territories as possible, because what else is there for him to do?
Right.
And I said to him, how long do you want to fight for? He said 7 years. And he's getting better and better. And he's just. I spoke to him. Obviously, he got married and he's away now on honeymoon, I think. And I spoke to him probably a week ago. I said, I hope you're having a good rest. And he's just like, I just want to fight again. This is a really fascinating stage of activity. Like for a pound for pound star, and one of the, or if not the biggest star in this world, I really feel like him and AJ, the 2 biggest stars, to fight so frequently is really quite unusual.
Yeah.
And I look at AJ, who's been fighting twice a year for a long time, and even probably less during the pandemic. And I actually feel that, it would help him as well to improve and get momentum boxing 4 times a year.